Hey everybody, welcome back to more Trails Through Daybreak. I am BogMod, and we're dealing with... You know what? It occurs to me. This is like... the second time that someone has died. Quote unquote, sorry. Died. And decided, you know, there are people deeply, deeply saddened by my passing. But I don't think I'll tell anybody. We'll just... run into each other randomly one day. It'll be hilarious. Sorry, that maybe not that last part, but like, first you, Burgard. It's kind of a dick move. I'm on a little more context, but I'm inclined to think you mostly didn't have a good reason for it. And then all that stuff with Ren and her family.
And that those same words of wisdom would come from your mouth, no less. I see you are living in accordance with your own principles.
Please, I think I just echoed the words of a much wiser man. Also, I'm not happy with you not giving us a story of what happened to you, buddy. I want an explanation. Is my man being bashful? Thought I'd see the day. Lost anywhere in sight. Judith, you don't know me enough to make that call. Oh, shove it! Well, you did do a good job putting Mariel at ease. Yeah, I think you helped regain some of her old spirit.
I'm so sorry for all the trouble I caused you. I'm such an idiot. I just got tunnel vision and let myself get all carried away.
You always get... that is how you live your life, Mariel.
Dingo always warned me about this. But look at me. I haven't learned a thing.
I mean, to be fair, it's pretty much worked out for you so far. So.
Well, I ain't gonna tell you not to push the envelope. That's in a reporter's job description. Just make sure you don't forget what Dingo said. Think about what you can do and what you want to do. You'll find a clue on how to move forward in the gap between the two.
You told me that a lot back when we first met. Don't stop thinking there's going to be a way to bridge that gap. You just gotta find it. We're working on this last request right now. Or his last request. We'll do it alone. We're planning to make up for our shortcomings with help from others. This pride of that brought us to you before long. We need help from more than shady folks. Let's keep your head high. Let's all do the jobs we're best for. Nothing else than to prove his words right.
Right. I don't know how much of a contribution I'll be able to make. But I'll start being more mindful of my cans and wants. And I'll do it while finding a way to move forward.
That's really quite touching. Very befitting of you and of Mr. Brad. Yeah, it's not a bad line. Like in terms of like little motivation. It is a good perspective. I'll grant that. To be like, well, here's what I want to do. Here's what I can do. How do I bridge the gap between them? And using that as your motivation on what to do. The gap between what I can do and what I want to do is an interesting yeah, there we are. Yeah, see, Katra agrees with me. Can we please move on to this topic? Let's go back to my mystery man being alive here. Introductions. Keep up with it all. One of the 12 knights who led the church's Growlzer. We skipped his backstory? Oh, game! Boo! Mine. It's a famous name in a lot of circles. Not surprising. Oh, don't, no!
Once again,
oh, game! I wanted to linger on that picture.
Mine. I would ask that you keep that in mind.
Well, I would ask that you tell us how you came back from the dead. So, you know, maybe we'll do you a favor if you do us a favor. There's our invitation there. Guessing a few others played a part in that as well. Professor Hamilton, Hayways, future elder, the Crown Prince of Elsame, and former President Rocksmith.
Bullseye. I happen to be acquainted with all of them.
Of course you are.
Including the Grand Prince of Elsime and Elder Guillen. The former president was anxious to make your acquaintance, and I believe meeting him would prove to be beneficial for your future. Though it pains me that a well-intentioned invitation coincided with such a horrific tragedy.
Like you'd have seen that one coming. I mean, maybe. Been a long lie, would have been powerless to stop it regardless. Yeah. The goddess herself. Or some sort of all-knowing AI. Right? Right? Hey, you got off to the Empire after you finished training me 5 years ago. Then I heard you bit the dust during a border suit in Nord. Laid down life protecting one of your students. You're alive and well. You cheated death and carried on living just without your title and mark. You've been doing all these years, but can you at least tell me why you never... Yeah!
Before I answer, I should note that you were not the only one in the dark.
Alright, so you were a jerk to many people.
I did not reach out to my other students either, and I never intended to do so. I wanted you all to walk your own paths.
A terrible answer. Could you imagine a parent being like, "Oh, I walked away from my family when my kid turned 18. I wanted them to walk their own path." No, it's crap.
And I intended to leave my survival a secret. A trump card that I could pull out in the wake
Now
of crisis.
that is a better answer. A little. Bah. I'm kind of with you on this, Van. Time to play that card then. Tell us with this crisis.
Correct. I have news regarding the Mafia Almada, the assassins of the Gardens. Their whereabouts were discovered several hours ago.
Woo! Where?
Almada's leader and executives, as well as the Garden's overseers, have established a new base, and it is located in a city within this very country.
That makes sense.
What's more, that information has been passed around to all the major players in this nation.
Oh, do you think Almada let everyone know? I guess that means the army, the police, and the guild are all in the know. You and the other 8 Crush are also aware of this now new base?
I imagine they are all preparing to take action at this very moment. This country's supreme authority is no exception. They have resolved to quell the unfolding chaos.
I am curious what their plan is, because if you recall, while it's apparently short range, it's not short range enough that the guy can't apparently teleport out of the range of a nuclear explosion. So any attack on their base has to have the question hanging over it. Is there a nuke?
And they will do so by any means necessary, even if that involves fighting one evil with another.
I was talking about earlier. Making a move as well. Can't be serious. We're gonna flood the city at once. Did he say it was a city? I don't think he told us where their new base was yet, did they? So we're going to try to capture them out alive with their heads. And to get their grubby little hands on one of those nuclear devices. Yeah. That'd be really bad. This would make you public enemy number 1. Yeah. But I mean, if you're the government, what do you care? Do.
As it stands, I am effectively dead. If the people of my former home decide to act, I will not join them, nor stand in their way.
If my longtime friends and allies and co-workers, my deeply held friendships and principles, I can ignore them. But regard, you're not. I know the angle you're going for with this. It's not hitting very well so far.
However, Now that the gift of life has been bestowed upon me once more, I intend to honor it by supporting the youths whose futures are so bright. And also, to keep them safe from venomous fiends, like these unwanted guests of yours.
Ooh. Oh, the glow of plot significance. Who knocketh upon our door? I have to come back another day.
That's so. What a shame. And after we came all this way to give you a job. And a little souvenir from your reporter friend.
Ooh. Get in here.
Knew that'd reel you in. Thanks, bud.
Do excuse us.
Ooh, it's the Ouroboros guys. Feathercoat Man and French Lady. There we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that walk. And at this point, we're calling Ouroboros venomous fiends. It's a shady duo from that nightclub in Tharbad. And back in long line. Yeah.
Oh, you recognized me after all?
Nice to finally meet you all, ladies and gentlemen of Arkride Solutions.
Man with facial hair.
Oh, now there's a face I never thought I'd see again.
Oh, neither did I. Tell me, what's a dead man doing out of his coffin?
He's granted life once more. I want to know the context.
No need to give us the death glare, you old fossil. We've traded many friendly blows in the past, haven't we? Why don't we bury the hatchet? Let's be like the Jaegers. Embrace yesterday's foe as today's friend.
Afraid I'll have to decline. Some of the late Steel made him this suggestion. I would have entertained the thought. Not for you, though. Never in a million years. Well, you may have given up your name, but apparently not your grudges, eh, Bergard?
He's got your number, dear. No one will ever reconcile with you. And for that, you've no one to blame but yourself.
You're on thin ice. But your words are laced with the truth, venomous though they are.
I get it now. You're the guy that Direwolf and Ren warned us about. Part of Ouroboros, then. Yeah. I imagine he's going to be an Anguis, and she's an Enforcer. Did I cover it already? Fourth Anguith, Harwood the Thousand Oathbreaker.
The name's Elroy Harwood. I'm the fourth Anguis. But you can just call me the Oathbreaker. Everyone does.
I am Enforcer number 3, Lucrezia Isoli.
Wait. Hold on. Is she... Who's... She's not... I thought... Who is... I'm looking up something. What? Who is the one that Luciola. The Bewitching Bell. You know, that's a little unfair, game. You have Lucrezia, the Golden Butterfly, and then Luciola, the Bewitching Belle, both of whom are the sexy, seductive lady types. Yeah, they're dressed differently. They are, but that's what was throwing me off. That's what had me thrown off. All right.
I'm delighted to make your acquaintance, Archive Solutions.
You know, with how informed Van is, I'm curious if they're gonna play at Van being like, they're mysterious, but not really all that bad. My grudge with them is more on a personal level than them being horrible monsters.
Really now? Very well. I promise I won't smoke in here. Ooh, accidentally went and made an oath there. And I can't afford to keep those.
Well, that's just being a dick.
I've got a reputation and a title to uphold, you see. Gotta break an oath or two from time to time.
Oh, now you're the 1001 Oathbreaker. It's gonna be expensive to update your cards, buddy, your little business
From
cards.
time to time. You break oaths and rules as easily as you breathe.
True, true. Anyway, on to business. I want you to go on a little trip for me.
Oh, you for real? You're joking.
What? You're not up for it? Strange. I thought I heard you took work from anyone.
Yeah, they're excusable. And if I like you. And your likability is going up in a smoke faster than tobacco in that cigar. You guys are after an idol. Hell, you probably know where they're at, too. Before we ask you where that is, you need to know why you come to us.
You gotta be kidding me. Do I really gotta spell it out? It's 'cause you kids will make things way more fun.
Fun? How do you even say that? There's nothing fun about this whole ordeal. Appeal to with logical reason. And come on. This is a Ouroboros. You should assume whatever enjoyment they might be after with all this, if an Anguis is involved, there's probably a deeper scheme.
The Society's already decided its course of action for this whole thing, and I'm leading the charge. Enforcer number 3 will be backing me up, and so will Enforcer number 8, who you already know so well. The goal's to round up the members of Almada and the Gardens, and murder every last one of them.
I see. You're doing so in the name of justice, I'm guessing?
Nope. Had they kept to their little dog and pony shows, we wouldn't lay a finger on them. Honestly, I rather enjoyed kicking back and watching them wreak havoc. But they've become a threat to our plans now, and we can't have that. If those little bugs want to punch above their weight, then we'll crush them beneath our feet.
Though no doubt it will be easier said than done.
I don't know. The threat of a nuke. Actually, you know what? Ouroboros only ever brings the smallest fraction of its power to bear in various situations. I imagine if the Grand Master ever fully mobilized them, they could get it done.
They're both troublesome and insidious, and some rather formidable guests will be joining their party.
Like, there's what? They've got like 20 enforcers or something. There's what, like 8 Anguis?
Everyone's got different aims here. Some want them brought to justice. Some want them dead and buried. Helloooo will surely be joining the fray, and I'll bet the Jaeger Corps will be after their bounty. I'm guessing Marduk HQ will be there too, yeah?
More than likely. Won't settle by either. Same goes for the Graal's litter. Artifacts are involved in this, after all. Despite other forces from the church showed up as well.
All right. You got students in other parts of the church, not just the Graalsritter. Things are gonna get interesting then. Must be tough being a master. I don't envy you.
That's what fate has in store, then I'll follow it. You needn't concern yourself with me.
Regardless, that should serve as the basic overview of the situation. Almada and the gardens will not be the only sources of mischief in that city. One wrong move and the whole affair could turn into an indiscriminate bloodbath. So someone ought to keep an eye on the little guys, don't you think?
In other words, civilians might get killed, you aren't gonna look after them. You guys are scum. Trying to stop these mass murderers, but not caring about the little guys. Truly, they are the worst. He does have another nuclear weapon in their possession. We have no other choice but to get involved.
You can use whatever justification you want. I don't really care why you join, just so long as you do. Because if you don't, this whole thing will be a snooze cruise from start to finish. I need you kiddos to prevent this battle from being too one-sided.
What do you mean by that?
The Guild's the only one in this brawl that's going to be fighting for the common man. If we add you to the mix, however, it'll make for a more balanced blend. A recipe that's made for chaos. Oh, and should you happen to run into us, I'd like you to come at me knives out, and ready to cut me into a million little pieces. I'm very much into that sort of thing.
You know what? So far, I'm enjoying Harwood's, the good old Oathbreaker here's presentation. You masochistic bastard. Well, we got our reasons for chasing Almada down, so I'm not opposed to doing this on the side. But first, need to get one thing straight. Why don't you guys have some connection to either Almada or the Gardens? Yeah, was it Sharon? Sharon from the Gardens? She was from an assassin group. So spill it. What kind of relationship does Ouroboros have with them?
Huh. Well, it isn't a close one, if that's what you're wondering. We haven't exactly been keeping in touch as of late. But your hunch is on point. We do have a connection with the Gardens.
You see, the two of us were once part of the Order of the Moonlight Horse.
That's the one.
An organization of assassins.
Yeah, sure. That was that. You see, I forget some things, but I remember bits.
14 years ago, Ouroboros destroyed the Order, but they extended a hand to the two of us and brought us into the fold.
Wasn't that Sharon too?
Although they did not do the same for many of its other members. The society is a small group of elites, and they only accept the best and brightest. Fortune had not abandoned them, however. Shortly after, another villainous group was nearly wiped out in a major operation.
The only other major group that I've heard about is that the cult?
My companion here herded the lost sheep of both groups and let them form their own flock.
Wait. You don't mean...
Huh. Has it already been 14 years? Time sure flies when you're having fun. And the Society has offered me a wealth of entertainment.
You know, it's funny that he says things like that. Because they don't see... We haven't seen them be, quote-unquote, evil in a long time. And what? There's only one operation that matches her story. And the one I'm thinking of. Please tell me the group you're all talking about isn't.
It's exactly as you think. The DG cult.
Aww. You guys don't put the therefore in, eh? All right. Well, now that I've heard them say it out loud, I'll try and correct myself. The DG cult. Okay.
You know the ones. The devil worshippers that spread chaos across the Republic and the continent as a whole.
Those fiends from Tau. I heard about them from my Grammy.
I brought the remnants of the Moonlight Horse and the DG cult together and set them loose on the world. That's how the gardens were created. They find seeds that are scattered by the wind and grow them into fresh assassins that are ripe for the picking. Had I left them alone, the founding members would have rotted away, and their budding talent would have died on the vine. But by mixing the leftovers of the cult and the order, I created a chemical reaction more potent than my wildest imagination could have conjured. I gave that one domino a little push, and look at all the tragedies and pain that befell the world.
How could you? It is an interesting question, Anyas. Because we have people like him. We have people like the Steel Maiden. They're such a weirdly diverse cast. What keeps them all working together is an odd question. Well, your fault. I take back what I said earlier. You're a sadistic monster.
Can't say you're wrong. My colleagues, like the Wellspring Alchemist and the Professor, never go far enough for my tastes. But that's humanity for you. No one's the same. We've all got our own desires that make us tick.
So philosophical. Yeah, those things that make you tick just so happen to tick me off. What's the deal, though? It also comes at the perfect time, given Dingo's last request. The idea of getting involved with these shitheads, but you might be right. Gathering will include Marduk. Maybe guild many other formidable groups. We'd rather aid if we were to force our way inside. In order to help with a pair of cold-blooded killers.
Oh, you do not need to think of it as helping us. You may instead think of it as entering a mutually beneficial relationship, where our goal is simply to use one another for our own ends.
I can take charge of laying the groundwork for the requests you'll get at the city. Those will keep you plenty busy. I'll even throw in a couple that'll give you a real thrill.
So you don't slip a trap or two in them?
My. They really don't trust you, do they?
Anyway, sounds like we have ourselves a deal. Oh, almost forgot the other reason I came to this little office. Here's that souvenir I mentioned earlier.
How? How? You know, at this point, maybe Dingo's alive. If that camera can tank a nuclear explosion with that little damage, maybe... You know what? When Dante teleported away... Alright, I'm leaning towards Dingo being alive. Safe? Oh yeah, it could be radioactive.
If you're worried about radiation, don't be. The professor, our technical expert, looked into the matter, and he found no traces of it whatsoever.
Interesting.
The three disciples are probably racking their brains about that mystery this very moment.
Oh, that is a mystery. Well, I guess that might have to do with... Ooh, well, could it have been not a nuclear bomb using fission, but a fusion bomb? I think that's what I'm thinking of. Fusion, on the end, do not create any long-lived radioactive nuclear wastes. Unless it's for fusion. Or, while I'm not trying to get too heavy into the science of this, mostly just curiosity, could of course also be related to the artifact used. Although, again, the fact that that camera is so little damaged, I'm gonna wonder if it's okay. If Dingo made it out alive. Anyways, we're gonna take a little break here. I'll see you all in a bit.